In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the current date in Power Query. So here I have this data where I have the task, the assigned to, so that has a name, and then the start date. Now what I want to do is open this data in Power Query and get the current date value based on my system's regional settings. So to do that, I'm going to open this data in Power Query. So I would right click on any of these cells, then use this option, get data from table range. And when I do that, it is going to open this table in Power Query. So here I have the data. Now you can see the start date here as of now has the date part as well as the time component. If you do not want that, right click on the column header, then go to change type and then click on date. So it is going to remove the time part and only give you the date. Now I have the start date, but I also want the current date, let's say in a separate column. So to do that, I'm going to go to this tab called add column in the ribbon, then click on custom column. And in the custom column dialog box that opens up, I would need to do two things. First is I would rename this. So let's call this current date. And then I need to use a formula that is going to get the current date from my system setting. So to do that, I'm going to use this formula called date time.local now. Now, if I just use this part here, you can see it says no syntax errors have been detected. If I just click OK, it gives me the wrong thing. It gives me the function which is not incorrect. It's just that this is not what I want. And the reason for this is if I go back into the custom column dialog box, I have missed out on the parenthesis. So it is important that you use the parenthesis. If you do not use the parenthesis, it is just going to give you the function name. Now, this is just like the today function in Excel where it takes no argument, just have empty parenthesis and gives you the current date. Now, in this case, if I click OK, you can see it gives me the current date and time. So I can again remove the time part. Now there are two ways to do it. You can do it the easier way, which is right click, go to change type and then click on date. So it is going to add a new step, but then it is going to do it. Or you can go back to the formula and then make the change in the formula. So it will just be one single step and no additional step is going to be added. So here in this case, I can use this formula, which is date time dot date, and then put that as an outer formula into this local now formula. So now when I do that and click OK, it is going to only give me the date part. Now this formula has given me the current date, but let's say if I want to use this current date in a calculation and I want to know how many number of days have elapsed between start date and current date. So to do that, there are again a couple of ways. I can add a new column. So let's see how to do that. I'll go to add column, then click on custom column. And now this is a very simple formula. So let's rename the column. Let's call it days elapsed. And here I'm going to go with current date and then subtract the start date from here. What this does is it is going to add a new column and then it is going to pick up the current date value from the current row and then the start date value from the current row and then subtract start date from current date and give me the value in the cell and then move down and then do the same calculation for each cell in the column. So now when I click OK, it gives me this result. Now this is not in the right format, so I can change this. I can right click, go to change type and then click on whole number. So it gives me that these are the total number of days that have elapsed between the start date and the current date. The other way you can do it is, let me remove these and I would go back to this formula. And in this custom column dialog box, I have this formula that gives me the current date. I can just use the calculation and build the calculation here itself. So instead of current date, let's call it days elapsed. And here it gives me the current date. I would just subtract the start date from here. So instead of me having two separate columns, I would just have one single column where this calculation is going to do everything. So when I click OK, it gives me the same result. I can right click, go to change type and then click on whole number. So instead of having a current column, current date column, it just does the calculation in this custom column itself. So this is how you can get today's date in Power Query. If you want the date as a column, then you can do that as well. And if you want to use that in a calculation, then you can also do that within the custom column dialog box. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Also, if you're liking these Power Query videos, let me know in the comment section. And if you want me to make specific videos on Power Query, then also let me know the topic and I can consider making those videos. Also, subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you never miss out on any new Excel tips video I come up with. Thank you and have a nice day.